Hey guys, it's Dan, and today we're going to be doing another late at night video for The Walking Dead. I heard a couple comments of people saying that they wanted me to do another Walking Dead video for today. So I was like, okay, let's see what I've got for options. What else can I pump out for you guys? Because a lot of people want to see a double upload today. So at least I had a few comments of people saying, oh, can you do a double upload today? So okay, this is just a random topic that, just kind of came to mind for The Walking Dead for tonight's video. And, okay, now this basically is going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on what is my favorite half season of The Walking Dead, which is, what is the best 8 episodes that they've ever done, in my opinion? What is the best half season? Because every season of The Walking Dead, we get 2 halves. We get the first half and the second half of the season, because they take a break around the middle, for their mid-season finale. But what is the best half season, in my opinion? And then I'll explain why, and I'll go into it and all that kind of deal. So, of course, it's very tough because we've got a lot of different half seasons, season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and, or not 7, or not 8, sorry. But anyway, we got tons. So, let's just get into it, and let's just talk about my favorite half season, which is going to be The Walking Dead Season 6, second half. Definitely, I'm gonna have to go with, because this half season was just everything they did with it, from beginning to the end. Now, I know a lot of people hate the Season 6 finale of The Walking Dead. I personally enjoyed it. I really did. I'll defend it as much as I can. But yeah, the cliffhanger was a pain. I'll definitely say it. Okay, so we start off with No Way Out. No Way Out is a fantastic episode. My favorite episode, at least one of them, of The Walking Dead overall. So that's a start right there. But, we get even further than that, because we get No Way Out, which was fantastic, blew everybody's mind, but then we get The Next World, which a lot of people really enjoyed, so did I. A lot of people actually enjoyed this one. I didn't hear too many comments of people saying, oh, this episode was boring. A lot of people actually liked a lighter episode, probably after No Way Out, but I don't know, maybe it's because we saw Jesus, and a lot of people liked that, that specific scene, so that was great. Then we get Knots Untie, which is basically a larger world episode for The Walking Dead, where we see the hilltop, we see all that. And this one was amazing, especially the what part. Oh man, such a iconic part now from the TV series. It's amazing. But man, when I hear about Negan and when you hear about all that, it really builds up that season finale really well. And I think that everything they did with Negan in the finale and kind of building him up from episode 11 to, even before that, in the mid-season finale and everything of season 6, really got me excited, and especially in this episode, hearing about Negan and really hearing about who he is. Loved that episode. Then we got episode 12, which is Not Tomorrow Yet. This episode right here is, man, just amazing. Everything they did with the this is like an add-in, I almost want to say, for the TV series, when they go ahead and they just take out this whole outpost to Saviors. But really, I think this established that our group, I think, is stronger in the TV series at this point, around this time in the story, than they were in the comics. Because in the comics, they only took out a few on the road, a few Saviors on the road, and Negan punished them for that. But man, what they did here was outstanding. Just everything from beginning to end. I mean, oh man, I can't even express just how awesome this was. So this was a great episode, and I know a lot of people thought that the first half of the episode was a slow builder. I gotta agree with it though. I definitely think that the first half of the episode was a slow builder, but it also kind of got us ready for what came in the second half of the episode. So I still enjoyed episode 12 heavily, and it was one of the most brutal parts of the entire series. Now, episode 13 was pretty good. I did enjoy the stuff with Carol and Maggie. Now, I know people are going to think, wait, this is your favorite half, but you have an episode out of this half season that you don't really enjoy. Well, every single half of The Walking Dead at least has one weak episode. I don't think every season can have all 16 good episodes. Not even The Walking Dead. That's almost impossible to do. And for this one, I have to put one episode out of these 8. I gotta put one down. I gotta talk about one that is not as good as the others. And the one this season, this half season, that is not as good as the others for me, this half season is The Same Boat, episode 13. The thing that bothers me with this episode is that it feels like filler. You feel it when you watch the episode. It doesn't hurt the future of the show. It doesn't change that much. It really doesn't. And I hate to say that because it is such a good episode. And yeah, it is. It's a good episode. But just the way it was handled, and I don't know, something about this episode didn't really fit, with the rest of the half. Because, once you see episode 14 and 15, you got all these other story arcs going on, and it almost doesn't even, they make it seem like episode 13, the content from it didn't even happen once we're in, episode 15, It's like, oh man, was that really, was that really necessary to see? Did they really need to show us all the stuff with Carol and Maggie? I gotta say they didn't. And that was something where I'm like, oh man, they could have done something better. They could have done another outpost attack. I would have been fine with that. But I don't know, The Same Boat just didn't quite do it for me. But that might be just my opinion. The Twice as Far episode, episode 14, nailed it. I love this episode. Now, a lot of people said that they kind of hate this episode because the first half of this episode kind of is slow. We don't see too much in the first half, but the second half is amazing in this episode. Now, the first half, it was slow. It went from a 0 to 100. I'll say that, but because this episode got to a really awesome point, I can't judge it. I can't. So, Twice as Far was amazing. Episode 15 of this season, this one, East. This one was a great builder to the finale. With Daryl getting shot at the end, a lot of people were really, they were like, oh man, what's gonna happen here? After will Daryl survive? Dwight's like, you'll be all right. So we kind of think he's gonna be all right, but it's this whole thing, and I really enjoyed everything they did in this one. Rick and Morgan, a lot of scenes with that. Carol, shooting down those saviors, and really great stuff in this episode. And then obviously we got the finale, which was a huge hated episode for The Walking Dead, with the introduction of Negan. That you can't hate on that. You can't. It's one of those where it's like, how can you hate seeing Negan, But a lot of people hated this episode, and I think it's because of the cliffhanger. And, I can understand that. But the thing that people kind of went overboard with is that they made it seem like the cliffhanger hurt the entire, episode. The episode is good. It really is. But the way it ends is kind of like, it's like, I don't know, this is a weird example, but, as if you're eating, I don't know, something really good, and then something really disgusting, just drops right in your plate, and you're like, ugh, at the very end of your meal, it's like you like, this restaurant keeps giving you all these awesome, foods, and then you hit one on the plate, and it's like, ugh, at the very end, when you're almost done eating. That kind of is what this one is, because it's like this episode's really good, and then at the end it's like, ugh, it's a sour note, and especially because the rest is so good. But I'm still going to have to say, this episode was amazing, especially the payoff in the premiere was huge. So, I gotta say for this half season for me is my favorite, but write your comments, what's your favorite halves? Another one of my favorite half seasons, though, I'll say, is probably the runner-up to this, and again, this is just my opinion, but I really, for some reason, enjoyed so much the second half of season 3 of The Walking Dead. That one was amazing. So, anyway, guys, make sure to write your comments below on what are your favorite, 8 episodes. What is your favorite half season of The Walking Dead? And maybe your favorite season. Me, it's season 6, and mainly because of this, mainly because of the second half and everything they did there. And the pacing was really fast, except for The Same Boat. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace.